bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm here. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Today's Thursday, May 12th. 133 days into the new year, 231 days left. We are live from a bunker, seriously, somewhere in downtown Burbank, California. I'd like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States, hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black. For KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planet. I'm your also humble host, Jimmy Church. What's cracking? Let's go. Let's do this, man. Got the dancing memes happening in Twitter. Let's go. I want to see who's got the best ones. I'll retweet. SpongeBob. It's pretty epic. So just to let you know, just got here, sat down in the studio a couple of minutes before showtime, got a couple of quick tweets in, and that was the delay, man. I was still tweeting like a madman. The dancing gifts. Let's go. The dancing gifts. I want to see them. I didn't know there were so many on the net, man. All right. Tonight's Fader Night. Open lines all night long. You know the drill. 323-825-5045. All first-time callers tonight. I'm going to get a T-shirt. All first-time callers. I'm going to do it. I'm calling the shots. I'm waiting for Rita's tweet. What? What? Yeah, we're going to do it. All right. All first-time callers. Free T-shirt. All right. Yeah. And we'll even pick up the shipping. All you got to do is be a first-time caller. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio, Facebook, YouTube. You know the drill. Tonight, at the bottom of the hour, Jon Rappoport is going to be here with his very own No More Fake Newsroom. You know, and this is what I'll let everybody know, that John and I do not want to know what he is going to cover. I don't want to do it. I don't want it to influence me or anything. I check in with him right before the show and go, dude, you ready? And then I just kind of, what are you going to talk about? This is John. Well, I'm going to do, and he'll say a word like, tonight, cantaloupe, and then a little bit of this and that. That's all I get out of John. And he dropped one word on me tonight, and it's kind of weird. It's called synchronicity, because it's been on my mind, too. So I cannot wait to hear what he's got to say tonight. He's just, what an addition to the show. Thank you so much, John. All right, you can email throughout the show, as you know, Jimmy@JimmyChurchRadio.com. This is open lines tonight. We do it every Thursday night. So for everybody that's new here, that's dialing in and just wants to check out what this thing, Fade to Black, is all about, well, that's what Thursday nights are. It's your night. It's your call. All right, 323-825-5045. Man, I want to thank, well, first off, Linda Moulton-Howe for the show last night, but also Victoria and Paul for coming in and giving away free passes. Totally cool. Gave away 4 last night, and look at these memes, man. Eric, that's going to get a retweet. Let me pack this up. Yeah, you can't. These are great. Thank you, everybody. Oh, this is good. The dancing gifts. Where was I? For Paul and Victoria to come in and give away those passes last night to Contact in the Desert, and it's coming up, man. I'm freaking out. Really, today's the 12th, so that's it, man. We are 2.5? It's under 3 weeks. Yeah, there we go. It's going to be a blink of an eye, and we're going to be right there. All right, so let's get through this, and let's get the show cracking. I am ready to go. Always remember how you support the show. Man, I'm just getting distracted here. These memes are getting better and better. That one's kind of strange. Les, the dancing dog. Where'd that Chihuahua one go? I remember seeing the dancing Chihuahua. That's pretty amazing. I don't know if that's CG or what, but man, it's pretty cool. Support the show. Everybody wants to support the show. Well, you can do that in a few different ways. Life Change Tea, of course, one of our big sponsors. Just go and check out their stuff. I've been doing. It's just amazing how I feel. Number one, but how good the products are, because the colostrum powder, that delivery, I've been doing that. It's amazing, and so is Rita. And the Moringa liquid, the eyedropper. Who knew that stuff tasted that good? And it's just amazing product. So just use the promo code Jimmy. Go to Life Change Tea, getthetea.com. Ronnie's got one of the best companies out there, period, with the best products. The tea is amazing. D365 is amazing. So just go and do it. All right? Take care of yourself. Feel better. Help support the show. That's how we get it done. And Studio Dome. You know what I noticed with my Studio Dome package? I have now, because I use it, every day, I have been running this in stereo, the two SBB2s. I haven't charged those things in like 5 days. I was charging them all the time, and I just haven't charged them in 5 days, and I ran those things all night last night after the show, and I don't know how that works. JCRTWS is the promo code. Go to Studio Dome, click on the banner right there, get the stereo system, the TWS True Wireless Stereo Bluetooth technology, the latest and greatest Bluetooth technology, $129 hard shell case. Go and do it now. We were just talking about Contacting in the Desert. That comes up June 3rd through the 6th. Roswell is June 30th through July 3rd, and the Awareness Life Expo, Crown Plaza, August 13th and 14th. And then there is another con coming up the month after. More on this. Today's Thursday, so we'll talk about this on Monday. All right, and we'll let you know what's cracking. There's another big one coming up. It's really cool. Let's get the show cracking today. Rami Malek, star of Mr. Robot. He is becoming famous. Dude's talented. Those heroin scenes that he do, looks pretty convincing to me. Star of Mr. Robot. He is 35 today. Ving Rhames today is 57. And I always go back and think about Pulp Fiction. I am far from okay. Also today, drummer Eric Singer is 58 years old. Yeah, we know him from Kiss, but did you know Eric got his start in playing for Lita Ford, man, back in like 1984. These dancing memes are just smokingly good. You guys are too much. Thank you for these. And I'll go through these. There's the dancing chihuahua. I'll go through these during the break. They're popping by too quick. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio, hashtag F2B, and you can see what I'm talking about right now. Anyway, Eric Singer got his start with Lita Ford, man. I remember when that went down. Our dead guy's birthday today is George Carlin. 1937-2008, died at the age of 71. Considered by many, and myself, to be the greatest stand-up comedian of all time. He put out 14 stand-up comedy specials for HBO in his career, and was the first host of Saturday Night Live back in 1975. Yeah. Winner of 5 Grammy Awards. In 2001, Carlin was given a Lifetime Achievement Award at the 15th Annual American Comedy Awards. Carlin had a history of cardiac problems spanning several decades, and that included 3 heart attacks. He talked about that a lot and joked about it a lot. And he died on June 22nd, 2008 at St. John's Health Center in Santa Monica, California, of heart failure. He was 71 years old. And we at a dinner party over at the house a few months ago, pretty cool. We sat at the having that conversation at the table, and we put Carlin on in the middle of the dinner table and listened to one of his rants. Right in the middle of this conversation. He was the best. Got an email today from Frank Sal Minio, and he says, I believe the movie you referenced yesterday with the lawyer on the courthouse steps shouting out of control was And Justice for All with Al Pacino, Jeffrey Tambor, and Jack Warden, and you are 100% correct. One of the best scenes of that movie, by the way, is when Jack Warden and Pacino, you remember Jack would sit on the ledge and eat his lunch. Remember that? Anyway, those are some of the best scenes ever in cinema. Jack Warden, he was amazing. Al Pacino, of course, was fantastic in that movie. On this day in history in 1997, the young and unknown Bob Dylan walked off the set of The Ed Sullivan Show. Yeah, 1963. The country's, at that time, Ed Sullivan was the king. The country's highest rated, biggest variety show, biggest show in the country, if not the world. And this was because network censors rejected the song he had planned on performing. That's what I'm talking about. Bob Dylan had NAD. Fate or fact, the Cholima, a mythical winged horse, is the national animal of North Korea. And that is a Fate or fact. Tonight is Fader Night. Open lines all night long. Call-in numbers 323-825-5045. At the bottom of the hour is Jon Rappoport and his No More Fake Newsroom. So today, let's go. Oh, man, all right, I caused a firestorm. Anyway, I was reading today some stuff about how the UFO community has shrunk. And I was engaged in a couple of things with some people around the country, and I started reading some stuff. And you know how you go off on tangents, and I did that and started reading this negativity out there. And it's wrong. And I was reading that the conferences have all but disappeared. That these conferences are full of 70-somethings, gray and blue hairs, walking around lost, dreaming of days gone by. I actually read that today, which reminded me of a tirade I went on a couple of years ago about this very subject. Well, the opposite, the same but different, same subject, the opposite, my style. And when somebody says this stuff, it shows me that they are so disconnected, so out of touch with reality, that they honestly don't have a clue. They seriously don't, or they want to see, let me get this thought together correctly. They want to see the filmmakers, the authors, the community that is us, the researchers. It's like they want to see them go away. Probably, I don't know why, but it may be envy, it may be jealousy, maybe hate. I don't know. Why? I don't know. But probably because they lost. They lost the fight. And they have nowhere else to go but to just reach out and say, it's going away. It's old people. The younger generation. Now, no. I just went to a conference and it was empty. And that's all BS. It is. Let me explain a couple of points here. And I might go a little dark, but please understand the reality. For anybody that's negative, that wants to be a skeptic or a debunker or just poo-poo on all of this, they're just completely wrong. And anybody, especially the people I'm about to talk about, I invite them on this show. Okay? Equal time. But one of them we can't. Philip Klass. He's dead. Like Momo. Dead. He's gone. Michael Shermer? Well, okay, look. He's not relevant anymore. He hasn't been relevant for a decade. But that's it. Shermer was one half of the A-team, if you remember, when anyone on the networks just wanted to get a debate going. You know, let's bring in Klass, let's bring in Shermer, and we'll bring in a couple of these UFO guys, and we'll just let these guys go at it. And that's what Shermer was. That's what Klass was. And Klass was a disinfo doofus, and he's gone. He's dead, like Momo. Shermer, on the other hand, he's still around. He's probably in his early 60s today, I would guess. He was always a good-looking guy, so he probably looks younger than he actually is. I'm going to guess and say he's 60, 65. But now Shermer is all alone, and Shermer's a smart guy. And I think a lot of the stuff that he did, his skeptics, his society that he had, whatever, you know, that era for him is gone. He's all alone. He doesn't have Klass to depend on. There's nobody else that's going to back him up. And today, nobody really wants to hear what he has to say anyway. He had his moment in the sun, but his arguments just don't hold water anymore, and he knows it. So he's gone. He's disappeared. The bilge pumps that were running for the skeptics 24 hours a day, just pumping that bilge out of the boat, kind of held up for a minute. It did. But they knew that there was no way to stop the tide. Those bilge pumps were not going to keep up. The waves were going to come in. Their ship was going to sink sooner or later, and it finally did. So there isn't anybody out there on that side of the fence anymore. It just doesn't exist. What's really cool, I'll get to this in a minute as I get these other thoughts out of the way, but what's really cool for the debate today is the different types of debates. But when somebody says to me that these conferences are full of gray hairs and blue hairs, 70-year-old people walking around, geriatrics, they have no idea what they're talking about. The fans of this show, the people that we see at conferences today, I'm telling you right now, in most cases, Rita and I are the old people in the room. We're surrounded by this younger generation that looks up to us because we're aunt and uncle. You know, and it's a weird position to be in, but that's really the truth. We have a young, vibrant, strong audience that knows what's going on, and they are connected. And anybody that says that that's not true is disconnected, doesn't have a clue. Because never before in history, right now, today, we are one. And I can tell you this, UFO convention, right? Pick one. It doesn't matter. UFO Congress, Contact in the Desert, the stuff. Look at what MUFON does in Pennsylvania all the time. And that's just a local thing. Think about that. It goes on all the way across the country. Ozark. You know? These are big conferences. New Living Expo and Conscious Life. These are big conferences. Well attended, well stocked. And getting bigger all the time. And I can tell you what you won't find across the country is a frigging skeptics conference. Could you imagine walking into that room? 2 dudes, Shermer and a buddy. There wouldn't be anybody to attend because nobody wants to hear it. Nobody cares. Nobody believes what they have to say. Their pie has shrunk to nothing. Today, we have our own shows. Heck, we have our own networks, if you think about it. We dominate TV, radio, the internet. The conferences themselves are sold out. It's a whole different thing, and they just don't get it. If they are in denial about all of that, that's their problem. The audience, the fans, the researchers, the attendees, they are getting younger. They understand the realities of our universe. They get it, man. They know we are not alone, and they know we've been visited. They know there's no question. And they don't have to be a ufologist, a researcher, a fan, an abductee, a witness. They don't have to have sighted something in the sky to get and understand this. And that's where the skeptics like Shermer they just can't argue anymore. Who are they going to argue with? Who are they going to get to back them? The new generation that I'm talking about, they would look at Shermer or a class today, they would laugh at them. If Klass and Shermer tried to spin their yarn to the generation today that I know, that I see, that walks around in shopping malls today, believers in UFOs or otherwise, they would just laugh. That new generation, they would look at them like they were the man, not to be trusted. The world today knows that whatever the world, I'm talking about every country, every continent, every city, town, every home, every person, they know today that what they are being told, taught, or fed is not reality. About everything. It doesn't matter. They don't trust anybody today, and they shouldn't. And I'm talking about their governments, their taxes, their laws, their wars, and money, the education, food, everything. Doesn't matter. And at the very top of that list is the whole "are we alone" question. That's right in front. They get it. And what I really love about all of that, because they do get it, now we have so many views to debate today, and I love it. But none of them, any of those debates from anyone would include the "are we alone in the universe?" Nobody's going to want to debate that. They want to know who is visiting. And they have their own opinions, and they're passionate about it. You can have somebody so passionate about whether the Roswell slides were a bad idea. Yeah, I brought it up. A hoax, a scam. But that same person that wants to passionately debate the Roswell slides, right? That same person knows we are not alone. That's not what they're arguing about. They're arguing about how we're being represented. That's what they're concerned about. They're not worried about "are we alone?" or that we have been visited by ET. That's not even the point. Now the debates that we get involved in, and you don't even have to have witnessed a UFO ever, but somebody's going to get in on that because they know we're not alone. So they want to debate how they get here. What's the ships like? Is it time travel? Is it interdimensional? Are they here already? They've seen the movies. They've seen Ancient Aliens. They've seen TV shows, and they get it. They do. We have won. The skeptics out there that want to debate have lost. They can't do it. And it's one thing to say that the evidence is overwhelming, because it is. The witnesses are overwhelming. They are. So it's not even about that. That what is overwhelming to them is they got nobody on their side of the fence anymore. Everybody gets it today. And what we are able to do is get together amongst ourselves, all of us, the millions of us, and we can fight amongst ourselves about, are they green? Are they blue? Are they visiting me in a bedroom like they have? Is it something in the sky? Is it CE5? Is it interdimensional? Nighttime goggles. Whatever. Night vision. That's what we can sit down and debate. Is it alien technology that the military have taken advantage of? I want to know. Sure, Bell Labs, let's throw that into the mix because we accept all of those views now. And now we get together at these conferences, on the internet, on this show, and we discuss this, and everybody's views and opinions and theories are all on the table. And that's a beautiful thing. I don't know if we will ever hear from the likes of a Michael Shermer again. And that's a good thing. They can't fight it. We have won. This is Fade to Black. Open lines tonight. When I come back after the break, Jon Rappoport and his No More Fake Newsroom. Phone lines tonight, 323-825-5045. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. Very simple. If you've got TweetDeck, or if you've got a Twitter account, go and get TweetDeck. Go to the Twitter homepage, download it, get TweetDeck. It's a Twitter product. And then all of your hashtags are now separate feeds that play automatically. You don't have to refresh. It's not Twitter. You'll never use Twitter again. TweetDeck is where it's at. Hashtag F2B. Hashtag F2BQ are questions for me or for the guests or anything that you want to get to me in real time during the show. I'll read it. Also, email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. Very simple. Just make it good, make it smart, and it'll get past and get to me. It's that simple. All right? Let's get out of here. Let's get Rapaport in. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. What's up, revolutionaries? It's me, Jimmy Church. Do you have an IRS or state tax issue? Well, I did, and I called national tax experts. My problems were fixed, done, fini, and man, I got to tell you, it was a relief. National Tax Experts are a recognized tax office that services clients in all 50 states. It doesn't matter where you live. Give them a call. I'm telling you, they take the time to understand each and every client's individual financial status as well as their financial goals. And that's exactly what you need, my brother, when you're taking on the evil three-letter. So, seriously, give them a call today at 1-877-909-5444. Again, 1-877-909-5444. Or go check out their website, www.nattaxexperts.com. That's NATTAXEXPERTS.com. Tell them Jimmy sent you.
Health in America is becoming a top priority. Or maybe I should say, good health in the world is becoming a top priority. Maintaining a healthy body can be challenging. How about letting Life Change Tea help you? Our tea, you make, you drink, and you benefit. Our unique blend of 8 different herbs helps you maintain good digestion, a healthy colon, and detoxes harmful toxins and parasites out of your body. And you know what? It tastes great. If you're wanting a change, a life change when it comes to health, log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Or you can call us at 928-308-0408. That's 928-308-0408. When you log on to our mobile-friendly website, you can read all the numerous testimonies of how Life Change Tea has helped so many people. We carry many, many beneficial products that help your health and keep you on track. GetTheTea.com. Kind of gets in your head, doesn't it? GetTheTea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Hi, this is Chase Kletzky with Fate Magazine Radio, and you're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station, where the Fadernauts rock.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
And now, coming to you from the No More Fake newsroom in deep space, which is the space that we suspect to be true, that the world, and it is fed to us every day by the Ministry of Truth, is a lie, a false reality, a movie projected on the screen of your subconscious. This, however, is the breakout. All the screens crash, they all go down, and we see the light of day, a new day. No more robots, no more androids. It's the No More Fake newsroom with Jon Rappoport. John, take it away, my brother.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. Thank you. Tonight, the power of the internet. The power of the internet. You know, there's so much unknown out there. That's what the media are afraid of. Major media. They're terrified of that. What they don't know. What they suspect might be true. And so there is this impulse in them, and there are many impulses in them, including, of course, the desire to control your mind, to cut people off from what is generally unknown, to be discovered, to be found out, to be understood, to be realized. Jimmy was talking about UFOs in the first segment here tonight. That's a perfect example. Just bringing up the subject in major media in any significant way would be a signal for an all-out crash of consensus reality, crash of the movie that is broadcast upon your subconscious mind that they call reality, but which, of course, we understand now is not reality at all. And that's what the news is now. The news is we say one thing, but everybody knows it's not true. They should lead with that every night on NBC, CBS, CNN. Tonight, the news. What we say is true, but you know isn't true. Here we go. Now, that would be refreshing, to say the least, a revelation. But something had to come in order to accelerate this sense of disbelief in the population, and that is the internet, because suddenly that's the opportunity. That's the opportunity for everybody to get on board and find out what is generally unknown, or what the major media say is unknown. That's the thing that happened. That's the thing that tilted the seesaw finally so far in our direction that the game will never be the same again. Can't be the same again. Could not be in any stretch of the imagination the same game anymore. And I realized this as a reporter when I stopped doing regular magazine and newspaper reporting. Just quit cold turkey because I was pitching story ideas to editors and they weren't interested. I would say, well, let's have a story about fake viruses. Fake what? Yeah, there are researchers in labs around the world that are claiming that they're finding viruses that cause diseases, but they're really doing fraudulent research because, and I could explain this to you in steps and show you how they're not really isolating the viruses in the first place, and they're not proving that they cause any kind of disease, etc. Whoa, 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 wait, whoa, hey, whoa. The editors would say, what are you talking about? In other words, it was so far beyond anything that they wanted to entertain or think about that there was no chance that I could write a story about this and get it published. So suddenly when the internet came along, it was like a revelation for a reporter. Type out the story, do the research, check it out, up, and then ding, post it. Bang, it's there for anybody in the world that wants to read it. Wow. If somebody had told us 40 years ago, 50 years ago, that this was about to happen, it would have been very difficult to accept it on face value. But then here it is. Now we've got it. Now it's a totally different situation. Totally different situation. And so you have the opportunity to pick the wheat from the chaff about a particular subject, as Jimmy was talking about, UFOs. The dialogue and the debate now is not about are we alone? That's done. That's done. Bye. Now it's about who's doing it. Where is it coming from? Is the military involved? Are we talking about interdimensionality? What are we talking about here? The debate shifts. We have all kinds of information that is beginning to come to light about missing trillions of dollars from government budgets. Where is that money gone? To what kinds of dark programs? And so on and so forth. And does this have anything to do with the UFO question, the UFO situation? It's a whole new world out there and in here, everywhere, because the consensus, the old consensus, has absolutely been destroyed. It doesn't exist in any shape or form as it once did. It's gone. Bye. See you later. And more of us are not only realizing it, but are moving to other sources of information away from the mainstream, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Nothing they can do about it. You've got major newspapers in the United States now that are refinancing the financing of the loans that they've been taking out because they're drowning in red ink, and they don't know what to do. They can't figure it out because they are the prisoner of the consensus itself. They are the promulgator and the prisoner at the same time of the old consensus, which is going extinct, completely extinct. They are the partner of the powers that be who want to perpetuate the consensus, and they can't make a dime off of doing it. They can only lose money doing it. So what are they going to do? Where are they going to go? How are they going to tap dance? They have no answers because there are no answers. There are no answers. Theoretically, do you realize, and this of course is hypothetical because they would never do it, but if the Washington Post decided tomorrow, look, the biggest story in the world that we could cover is UFO. And there are all kinds of researchers out there, credible researchers that we could tap and bring them on board to write stories and do research and really investigate this thing. And guess what would happen if we did that? Guess what? We could print 2 editions every day of the newspaper. We could put them on the racks out in the street. We could bring back the newspaper sellers on the corner. And we could go into the black. We could start making a lot of money, and we would be telling the truth. Never going to happen. These media outlets, and I don't mean just newspapers, but of course television and radio and so forth, they are committed to being partners of the old consensus. They have sold out on that score to such a degree that they can't move. They're trapped. They're in jail. And they are fading and fading and fading to black. That is what is happening. So now I want to issue a call to some of you. Not all of you will be interested in this, but some of you, a call for researchers, which I title Out of Your Head Onto the Page. Out of your head onto the video, out of your head onto the blog, out of your head onto the podcast, out of your head into writing a book. And I've had some very interesting experiences myself in this area. How can I put this? Some of you pick an issue that you are essentially interested in, that you've been following for a long time, that you know a great deal about. The ideas, the thoughts, the research, the investigation is all floating around in your skull. It's very rewarding, but at the same time, I can tell you from my personal experience how much more rewarding it would be if you took it out of your head and you put it on the page. In other words, if you said to yourself, guess what? I am actually a researcher. I am. I know enough to be that thing, to be an investigator, to be a researcher, and to put out my information, my best evidence, and to share it. And then, who knows what would happen? It's a whole new world and a whole new life. And you now put yourself up on a whole new level and you join a whole new party. Trust me. It happened to me. And I've told this story a few times and I never reveal the name, wouldn't be right, but I used to give a lot of talks, this days before the internet. A lot of lectures, a lot of talks. Many of them were taped and audio cassettes would get out all over the world and so on and so forth. And at several of these talks, the same guy would come up to me, very intelligent guy, and he would pepper me with all kinds of questions, some of which I could answer, some of which I couldn't. But the one thing that I realized was that he was an unending fountain of questions. You know, if I stood there after a talk and engaged in a repartee with this guy, we would be there all night, literally. And so I began to kind of, put him off a little bit. And, I can't talk anymore. It's too much. I got to go. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I got to get out of here, and so on and so forth. And finally, one day when I had had enough and he showed up at another one of my lectures, I said, you're a highly intelligent person. You've got a tremendous amount of information there. And I would venture to say that you've written very little, if any, of it down. Nothing. You haven't answered anything. Nothing. So, what are we going to do? What are you going to do? How's that going to work? And he said, what are you talking about? And I said, look, here's the story, my friend. You go back and you become a legit researcher. That's what you need to do. You need to become a writer, because I can tell by the way you talk that you can write. You need to do this on your own instead of standing here asking me 5,000 questions, because what I see going on here now that I've gotten to know you a little bit is that there's a subtext to you, my friend, and that subtext is telling me, I want to do more. I want to do more. I know that. I can see that. You know that. So let's not, BS each other. You're on the cusp of a new life. That's where you're at. So take the leap. Come on. Take a risk. Take a chance. Get out there. Shift from being invisible to being visible and start publishing your own research. If necessary, publish your own books, your own articles. Again, this was before the internet. And his reaction was to be a little offended. I took that as a further sign that I was on the right track. I said, look, you got two choices here. As a highly intelligent person with a great deal of information on subjects that you're intensely interested in, you can take a back seat and just sit there and chirp and chirp and chirp and chirp and chirp and nothing is going to happen. Or you can take the lead. You can go for something that's going to come out of you when you start to actually write that you don't even know about yet. And it's going to be good. It's going to be very good. It's going to be very interesting. So you make that choice, okay? But stop bugging me, because I know what it's really all about, and so do you. Flash forward 10, 15 years later, this guy is writing books. Very interesting books. Highly different, unique books. He took the leap. He made the leap. He put himself up on a new level, and he found that he was in a new party, the party of everybody. That's where he is. That's where he is. And as we speak, I am sure that there are a few people out there who are, guess what? They're peppering him with questions. And, well, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? What about this? And out of those people, a few of them, he's going to say to them what I said to him. He's going to say, I know what you're about. I know who you are. I know what you need to do. So listen up. Listen up real close. Because what you need to do is to go out there and take the lead and begin to be that thing yourself, the investigator, the researcher. It's going to give you a different life, a different life. So I want to tell you, if you decide to accept this challenge, a call for researchers out of your head onto the page, that one of the things that will happen to you is indeed paranormal. I can guarantee it. At some point, people are going to show up. Events are going to occur that are completely unpredictable and synchronous. Click, click, click. This clicks with that. That inserts here. He showed up. She came in. Boom, boom, boom. That conversation happened. And lo and behold, boom. Yet another aspect of the new life up on a new level will occur. Because, and this is the bottom line here, folks, once you take it out of your head and you put it onto the page or onto video or onto podcast or onto blog, into a book, you turn the invisible into the visible, you are, wait for it, projecting a new reality. You are projecting a new reality. And what is out there is going to respond. You are no longer at that point the iron filing attracted to the magnet. You are the magnet attracting iron filings. That's what happens. in completely unpredictable ways. The synchronous events will occur. Not all at once, not by dawn tomorrow necessarily, although I've even seen that happen. You do the work, you do the research, you put it out there, you do the very best you can. You display your evidence, the evidence of your own investigation. You go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the subject that interests you and engrosses you the most, whatever that may be. And you find layers and layers of truth below layers and layers of truth. And you are the archaeologist of that subject, and you bring it up to the surface and you present it. You are projecting a new reality, and that is the clue and the key and the vital thing that happens that brings out the synchronicities that will occur, the people who show up, the events that happen to you that you can't explain, the positive events. All on the plus side I'm talking about here. Nothing to do with fear, nothing to do with exposure, nothing to do with any of that. That has all been discussed and chewed over and digested many times. Well, what will happen if I say this? Yes, okay. But what's been left unsaid is all on the plus side. And that is limitless, you see. What people have not realized, many people, unfortunately, is that the synchronicities are not merely done by thinking a thought and then snapping the fingers. No. You have to do the work because you want to do the work. You have to make the invisible visible. You have to project the new reality. You have to report on your findings of your deep research and investigation. You have to take the bull by the horns and do the work. But you see, you're doing it because you want to. So why not do it? Why not step across the chasm from where you are to the plateau that's there on the other side? Why not do that? And in the process of doing it, at some point, these synchronous things will begin to happen, these very positive synchronous things. They will occur. They are very real. They happen. They do not happen according to what we tend to assume is the logic of the way reality unfolds. This is superseding that reality. It's going beyond it. And it will and does happen. But you're not doing the work because primarily you're thinking, now, if I do the work and I do the work and I do the work, then something wonderful is going to happen. No, that's not how it works, you see. You do the work because you want to, because you really are thrilled by doing the work. And you project what you have discovered by publishing it, so to speak, in whatever medium you choose. And that is projecting a new reality. And then at some point, these side effects, so to speak, very positive synchronous side effects will start happening. And you'll be very pleased by that. Very pleased indeed by that. But that's not why you do it. You do it because you want to do it. So that's my call. The call for not everybody, because not everybody wants to do it. But I know out there in the great Fade to Black audience that there are some of you who are on that cusp. And I'm just saying, come on. Let's go. There are some of you who already know so much about what the media will never report, about the truth underneath the truth, underneath that truth, and underneath that truth, and underneath that truth, that with further research and investigation, you would create an explosion, a projection of new reality. And that's where we're at now with the internet. That's what's happening, whether most people realize it or not. in and among the rough and tumble, of the good and the bad and the ugly and the beautiful and the ecstatic and the horrendous of the internet, this is what is emerging, the projection of new realities, many of which are based on extremely solid research and investigation into many, many, many different fields. And that is magic. It's magic.
John, I'm going to jump in. I'm just going to tell you, I was so moved by this, and I was watching everybody's reaction in the chat rooms and Twitter and so forth, and very inspirational. And thank you for this. But I wanted to, before we ran out of time, I remember a couple of years ago, and I want you. One day, by the way, I want to hear you drop an F-bomb on the show. I want to hear that happen.
Oh, anytime.
Yeah, right. A couple of years ago, you gave a presentation on imagination. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
One of these days, and I mean one of these days, not next month, not next year, one of these days, I want to bring you on the show, and I want to discuss imagination. And let the audience get your take on that, because it was as moving to me then as what you just spoke about right now, and I think you know where I'm going and where I'm trying to come from right now.
I do.
Yeah,
and any time would be wonderful, because that's the key. That is the key.
Yeah, it is. It truly is. And I want to thank you again, because what you do for this show and this audience, not this show, but the audience, and what you do for this show is you cause thinking. And if you get one person, you've won, to just go out and just think and ponder the significance of what you are speaking about. And you've won. But you know what? I think you manage to strike that emotion in everybody. I'm watching the reactions with everybody, and
that's great.
Yeah, totally cool, man. And you know what I just said in one of the chat rooms? I go, I want to be John. I so want to be you, man. All right, hey John, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks, Jimmy. That's fantastic. I love doing this every week, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, we love you for that. And again, I've got to get you on, and we've got to do the imagination conversation. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Jon Rappoport, No More Fake Newsroom is his website, and that is where you need to start off your day every day. The No More Fake Newsroom, Jon Rappoport. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. He is the very best. Man, that was like the Martin Luther King I Have a Dream speech, wasn't it? That's what I'm talking about. Jon Rappoport. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. That's what you want to do. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. Jimmy at JimmyChurchRadio.com is the email. Jon Rappoport, NoMoreFakeNewsroom.com. I'll be right back with your phone calls right after this. 323-825-5045.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of this product.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
To order your 2-month supply, call now toll-free 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
Imagine no longer being tied down to your computer, but having the freedom to take live talk radio with you anywhere you go. TalkStream Live introduces our first ever iPhone application. The talk shows you follow now follow you, and your iPhone is now the fastest and easiest way to stay connected to the best talk radio on the internet. Let TalkStream Live transform the way you listen to radio. Listen to live talk shows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Mobile talk radio from TalkStream Live. Now available in the iTunes App Store.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
What's up, Fadernauts? Studio Dome loves Fade to Black and the F2B audience so much that they have put together the ultimate stereo Bluetooth system. They've done it just for you. Man, check this out. The Studio Dome SBB2 stereo system is here. It's featuring 2 Studio Boombox 2 SBB2 wireless Bluetooth speakers, packed in its own custom hardshell case. This Studio Dome system features the very latest in stereo Bluetooth technology. The 2 full-range boomboxes are in true wireless stereo. You've got to hear this. It's amazing. It's just $129, and use the promo code JCRTWS, and you'll also get free shipping. It's simple. Just go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on the Studio Dome banner. Go Beckley Tepe.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back, Fade to Black. Tonight's Fader night, Thursday night. Thank you, Jon Rappoport. Amazing. Just amazing. 323-825-5045. Open lines all night long. Want to warm up with this. The contents of Facebook's trending section are curated by human editors, not computer algorithms. The leaked internal documents have now revealed this. This lends credence to the accusations that surfaced this week that Facebook has suppressed conservative sources. I'm not conservative. I'm not anything. I'm right down the middle. I listen to both sides. I report on both sides. I'm objective. But that ain't right. That ain't right. It reminds me, do you guys watch Silicon Valley? And if you, Silicon Valley, there was an episode a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was this last one, where what's his name from Hulu steps up and goes, man, we're going to change our search algorithms because I don't want to wake up every morning and pop my name into our search engine and see this negative stuff. And they were like, hey, wait, the programmers. Wait, you want us to change our search algorithm? We need to remain neutral, you know? And that's exactly what's going on here. That's bizarre. All right, let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. You're live.
Hello?
Yeah, you're live right now. Who's calling?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Brett from Miami. How you doing?
Hey, Brett from Miami got through. How are you, Brett?
Good, man. I've been listening to you for, I don't know, a year and a half. Big shout out to all the faders.
Right on.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, man, you are loud and clear. Oh,
just play a little bit.
All right, we get it, Brett. We get it. What's on your mind, brother?
So yeah, I was curious. I know we were on the chat room asking. I was wondering, is Jon Rappoport really Lewis Black, but like on his fence or something?
Yeah, I know, right?
That?
Yeah, I actually saw you in the chat room making that comment, and so I went back and I was listening really close. And dude, you're so right. You're so
right. Lewis Black live too. So
yeah.
You really hear it when they get to mellow.
Yeah, man.
I think you called it right though. We got to get him to drop an F-bomb, real slow and real fast.
Chain smoke some cigarettes, maybe a little scotch in a glass, and see what happens. But yeah, I just stopped and listened and closed my eyes a little bit and was picturing, Black doing his thing. And you're absolutely right. It's not, it's the intelligence fact, but it's all the inflections and the choice of words and the verbiage and the nouns and how he puts his sentences together, dude. It's Lewis Black, man.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, very interesting. So, first time caller, Brett, huh?
Yeah, I've been meaning to call so many times, but I just usually get too engaged in listening to what we're talking about.
Yeah,
and then I'm just like zoning out. But I'm listening to.
Well,
I don't know. It's not 5 nights a week, 4 nights a week. All that. But I love what you're doing. The show is just always consistently really cool.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Brett. And for that, we have bought you with a T-shirt. All right, so
represent Miami.
Yeah, represent Miami, man. Wear your colors, and when you get your T-shirt in the mail, take a picture of it and post it or send it to us, and we'll make you famous. And now, all you need to do is just go to our website, go to the contact page, send Rita an email with your phone number in it and your shirt size and your address and all of that stuff, and we'll get one out to you right away.
Oh, that's so cool, man. You're awesome.
Hey, man. No, you are awesome, and thanks, man. You're a fade or not now.
Yeah, right on. Much love, man. And much love to you all, fade or not. Have a good night, y'all.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brett. Brett from Miami kicking things off tonight. First-time callers are going to get a T-shirt. It's just like that. That's how we do it here. All right, 323-825-5045. Yeah, man, Jon Rappoport, motivational speaker. He needs to go on tour. All right, as we wait, I cleared out the phones, 323-825-5045. And it's interesting how he was speaking about, the internet. And that's exactly what, one of the things that I was talking about in my little opening thing here. The internet has brought us together. It is such an amazing, powerful tool. And it's not just the audio and the video and YouTube and this program, but it is the chat rooms and the forums and the emails and Twitter and how we interact here in real time, because you guys get it. You guys truly do. And when I am dealing with somebody out there in the real world, when I get out of the bunker, and I'm going, they're going, well, I really don't do, I don't have Twitter. I'm not on Facebook, or I don't really, check out the internet. I'm like, well, okay. I don't get that, but most people do. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black.
Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? It's Jose.
Hey, Jose, how are you, brother?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm excited to see you, man, in 2.5 weeks. Can you believe it?
Oh, man, I can, actually. Yeah, I'm excited to get out there, too, man. I can't wait.
Are you going to bring the gear? Are you going to bring the gear?
I'm going to bring the gear. I'm probably going to go a little bit smaller this time. I'm getting tired of the weight's a little bit rough,
Oh, man, I don't know, man. That's a pretty impressive, lens you have.
What I'm bringing is a little bit smaller, but it's still just as effective. So we'll be good. I'm actually looking forward to hanging out with you guys out there, behind there, probably where you're going to be staying at out in the retreat center.
Yeah.
And aim my camera, leave it on there to see if something happens, and I'll hit the record button and see if we can catch something.
Yeah,
man.
Great. Yeah. You never know. And the other thing is, what's really cool is we have a fader pad. this time set up. So we're going to have a really cool party. Well, we always have a really cool party, but we're going to have a really cool party right next to the retreat center. And so that's going to be just amazing. And wait till you see the layout. And if you get a hold of Rita or Dan or one of the crew, they can send you pictures of the pad. It's pretty cool. We're going to have a good time. I can't wait to see it.
I'm sure. Hey, listen, Jimmy. Great lineup, by the way, this week. But I wanted to ask you. I don't know if you talked to Linda Moulton Howe any more, like after the show or before. But when you guys mentioned the animal mutilations yesterday, and she mentioned that they were like pet cats and foxes and other animals going on, going through these decapitations, And I'm not sure if you saw Twitter, but I just put on Twitter like 3 pictures that I took about 3 years ago. And basically behind my house, there's a retention pond. Like in Florida, we have the retention ponds because if not, everything would flood.
Yeah. And
man, there was this wild boar that was decapitated, like in the pond.
What?
And it was weird. I just put the pictures on Twitter. I don't know if you can see them or not. Just put them out there a few minutes ago. So if you want to take a look at them. But it was the weirdest thing, man. And it looked almost like a clean cut. The head was missing. The boar was basically at the edge of the pond. And I only saw that because there's all these
I'm looking. Okay.
Around.
Holy crap, Jose.
Yeah, this was behind my house, man. And basically I was walking my dog, and I saw the buzzards. I went over there. I'm like, what the hell is this, man? So I went back, brought my camera, not the nice one I have now, another camera, and I took some pictures. I was actually going to call the cops because I'm like, is there some, the first thing that popped in my mind is there people doing some kind of religious sacrifice, some crap like that. I was not really sure, but basically I said, well, if something else happens, I'll call the cops. But I took pictures, as you can see. I put them there. I was actually trying to put them last night, but I could not find them fast enough to put them up,
Well, I'll send these, if you could. Let's do a couple of things. We're on the air right now, so But shoot me a quick email with these, and then I will. I'll get you connected with Linda, and we'll get this hooked up. I think she needs to see these. She'll know what she's looking at, as opposed to me. I am completely disturbed at the moment.
What I wanted to ask you, I don't know if she mentioned, like, was there any other types of animals, like like a wild boar? That's nobody's pet,
Well, yes, that's one thing, and the other thing is no mention of dogs, and. That's weird. Yeah, and I find that fascinating, and I just didn't get around to asking her about that last night. And you know what else I didn't ask her about? Human mutilations. I didn't.
Yeah, I know that's somewhat of a touchy subject.
It's taboo, man. It's completely taboo, and I understand why.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking maybe it was a gator, but we don't have gators big enough to take a boar out. Not only that, but just take the head. No.
Well, you would see teeth marks, though.
Yeah, that's like a pretty straightforward, as you can see, it's very straightforward cut, man. And it was a little just weird, man. And I was just wondering when she mentioned that yesterday, I'm like, I remember this picture I had. I had completely forgotten about it. But
wow,
wondering, man. I'll email you the pics, and if you can get them to Linda, and I'll try and see if I can talk to her out in CITD.
Absolutely. So I'll get all that hooked up. Man, you just messed up my whole night, man.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. My bad.
That
is
just crazy. That is
By the way,
just
man,
nuts.
this edition of Jon Rappoport on Thursdays is kick-ass.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it though? And you can tell he totally gets it. He gets the audience, and it's a whole thing to. And I've got calls lined up, so I'm going to have to say goodnight. But the thing is, he gets it, and he gets the audience, and he's totally appreciative with everything.
Yes, and sorry, Jimmy. One more thing, by the way. What you said earlier today about these skeptics, that they've disappeared, you're completely right about that, man. Those guys they have no leg to stand on anymore, man.
They don't.
Not just the ones you mentioned, but like those clowns, I think Ben Ratcliffe and all these other clowns, they got nothing anymore, man. They don't have enough knowledge to actually compete with the new researchers coming up, man. And I applaud you for that comment, man.
Thank you so much, Jose. And I look forward to seeing you in just a couple of short weeks, man. We're going to knock them back.
All right, man. We'll do that, okay?
Thank you so much, Jose.
And I'll email you when I get a chance, okay?
There you go. Thank you, Jose.
All right, bye.
Wow, those are disturbing pictures. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black.
Hi there, Jimmy.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Who is this?
This is Destiny Day.
Hi, Destiny. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, It's kind of been a long week. Looking forward to the weekend.
And what are you going to do this weekend?
Shopping.
That's what I'm talking about. So what's cracking? Are you a first-time caller?
I am a first-time caller.
Wow, check that out. Well, you know the drill tonight.
I do.
I want to go broke tonight with first-time callers.
Wow, that's amazing. And I've looked at your T-shirts on your website, and they're just so cool.
Yeah, you have no
I really
idea.
love them.
Yeah, they are great. And so we'll hook you up on that. And you know what to do. Just contact Rita through the website. I've got your name here and your phone number, and we're good to go there. And just, address, a shirt size. So let's get that out of the way. What's on your mind tonight, Destiny?
Well, actually, I do have a question. I've been listening to your show and just loving it now for a little bit over a month. And I have great interest in the paranormal, anything paranormal, UFOs, ghosts, the pyramids. I mean, you name it,
Everything we talk about every night, right?
That's right, every night. I'm just amazed by everything I hear. But my question is concerning spirit animals.
Okay.
Do you ever do any shows on those or have any guests? You do?
Check this out. It's funny that you mentioned that. We are going to bring on a very special guest here in over the next month. I don't have the exact date in front of me, but a pet psychic.
A pet psychic. Wow, that's going to be exciting.
I'm totally into it. And so, yeah.
I am too.
Yeah, we're going to do that. Not only the communication to, how do you communicate and what's the mood of, what's your pet thinking?
That's right.
There's that
That's
part.
Right.
But also maybe a pet that isn't with you anymore.
Well, I have plenty of those, and I like to think they're still with me because they were very, very special.
Yeah. And, over at the house, we have our collection over at the house. We have 3 dogs, we have a cat, and we have a fish. And
a fish, I love it.
Yeah, and it just freaks me out that they're not going to be with me forever.
Right.
And it just trips me out. I don't know what's going to happen when we go through it. We have to. It's called the cycle of life. And so there you go. I'm totally into it. I'm a total dog guy. I've been turned into a cat guy. And,
that's harder. I mean, I'm a dog person. I have 1 dog right now. My son has 2 cats. And when I visit with him, those cats just never fail to amaze me. I love them so much.
Yeah, I'm not going to be posting any cat videos anytime soon. I'm not going in. Yeah, but I got to tell you, man, our cat that we got, he's a cruiser too. He's real cool.
Wow.
I've been sucked in, man, and I'm trying to figure them out. You know what I figured out about? You know what I figured out about cats?
What's that?
You can't figure them out. That's it.
You can't. Just when you think you do, they do something totally out of character.
Well, and this is my other theory, and I don't think I'm going too far out here in my theory. I think cats have bred humans to take care of them.
Wow. Okay. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
We are here just to make sure that they look good, smell good, are fed, that they have a roof over their heads. Late at night, I will I have my iPad in bed, right? My tablet, and I'm researching and reading and doing my thing. And he comes in and sits down next to me where I'm laying in bed and looks at the iPad. Obviously, I bought it for him.
That's right.
They'll
just take over anything,
Yeah, he is so cool. So there you go.
That's great.
All right,
That's
Destiny.
Great,
thank you for the phone call. You have a great, safe weekend.
Well, thank you, Jimmy, and you do the same. Okay.
Don't forget to send us that email.
I sure will.
Thank you so much, Destiny. You got it. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm too quick on the button. Thank you so much for the phone call, Destiny. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, it's Ty from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Hi, Ty from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I can't even say that fast enough. You did.
When you live here, you say it fast.
Yeah, man. So what's going on up there, man?
It's well, you heard about the Fort McMurray
That's
fire.
what I'm asking about. What's going on out there?
Where I live by, they have a setup where the evacuees can get debit cards loaded with money. They've given out like $7 million today. And so that's some emergency money that they can use for shelter, food, and probably clothes too, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, very cool, man. And how's the fire shaping up? Is it starting to chill out? Do they have a handle on it?
Not yet, but it does seem to be slowing down a bit. It's about, I'd say about 15 miles from the Saskatchewan border. They call it Fire 9, and there's like 100 helicopters working on it, and 1,000 men. They're still chugging away at it, trying to get it put out.
And how about Fort McMurray? Now, is it officially in the clear?
Yeah, it's in the clear, and they've put out all the hot spots, and now they've got crews up there, hundreds of people up there cleaning out the burnt stuff, and they've got to hook up the gas and to make sure that's safe, and the electricity and the sewage and the water.
Right.
So they won't be going back anytime soon, but the Premier thanked them for their patience, because it's going to take a while to clean that up and get it ready.
Yeah, it was pretty dicey there for a minute, and all of us down here in the United States, we get it. You guys are us, but the thing is, here in California, nobody understands what you're looking at with a fire than here in California, because we deal with it every single year. We go through the fire season, and sometimes it's really, really, really bad. And when we see what you're going through up there, we get it. I get it. We live, Rita and I, our house is in the mountains, in the foothills. And every year, man, these mountains all around us, well, not every year, but certainly every other year, it goes up in flames. And it's something that we witness and see. And when I saw that with Fort McMurray, I don't know if they've ever been through that before, but we have. And, man, immediately all we can just say is, man, our thoughts are with you and our prayers are with you. But it was close, but you guys dealt with it correctly. And I'm just, in a weird way, and I said this a couple of days ago, I'm happy, because it could have been really, really bad.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is the fifth year since Cold Lake, another place up north there. They lost 30% of their city to a forest fire.
Yeah, I remember that. So what's on your mind, Ty? You called me.
Well, I wanted to... I'm making an observation about the shuttle satellite tether incident.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, we all do.
I'm just wondering, what do you think of this idea that perhaps those aren't UFOs, but perhaps there's some sort of life form that lives on the edge of our atmosphere.
Totally possible. Totally possible. And some of the, and that's an interesting point, because the tether itself, it was 12 miles long. And so looking at what that could be at the end of the tether, it's got to be big, right? It can't be an optical illusion. Some of it is, for sure. But on some of the close-ups, on some of that, it looked to me, I've always thought, and it's interesting that you bring this up, Ty, I thought that stuff was breathing. It looked like, you know what I mean?
It does that, yeah.
Yeah, and is it possible? We know so little about what's going on around us. We're discovering species every day. There's always new stuff being discovered. And the possibility of a life form being able to live in the vacuum of space, is it possible? Sure it is. We have life forms here on Earth that live in the most extreme temperatures of cold, of heat, totally void of oxygen and carbon, that are living in acidic, very gnarly methane-based atmosphere. But they live and they procreate. And it doesn't make sense that we would have life forms in these extreme environments. Now, in the vacuum of space I don't know. But what's going on out there, it looks to me at some of these objects, anomalies, are breathing. They look like they're pulsating to me. And ice crystals simply wouldn't do that, would they?
No, and they look kind of organic in their motion.
Yes. Yeah, no doubt about that. And could it be? Yeah, of course. And the other part of it, Ty, that I find interesting is that maybe, just maybe, they're like blipping in and out of another dimension. Just a life form that we know nothing about. They're coming in for a second and they blip in and blip out. And that's possible also here on Earth, too, as well. I mean, walking around, you know how you see things out of the corner of your eye for a second and you look and they're not there? And you're like, wait a minute, Well, that could be something that just blips in and blips out for a second. A mistake, maybe. You know what I mean? They stepped into the wrong room and then they got back to where they belong. I think all of this is possible. I really do. Because things just are running at certain vibrations, and where we are, our vibrational frequency, where we are, that's our reality. But if you alter that vibration just a little bit, things disappear. And that's it. They're into another dimension. So we only know what we see right now in the here and now at the vibration that we're running at, and those light waves. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. What gave me the idea was just recently new life forms were found in the Marianas Trench.
I saw that.
And they seem pretty wispy. Pretty thin, like the jellyfish is 99% water. Why couldn't a life form be 99% space?
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, we're 99.999% nothing anyway. If you take away all the space out of it, we are nothing. You're a speck of dust if you combine everything together.
Mm-hmm. They say if you took all the space in the atoms away in the Washington Monument, it would go down to the size of a pencil eraser.
Yeah, I've heard grain of sand. Yeah, exactly right. Hey, Ty, thank you for the phone call, my brother.
Just wondering, I don't want to stress you out or anything, but I phoned prior when Chris Medina was on.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't get a T-shirt.
You didn't get a T-shirt?
No, because I mentioned aliens and we got cut off.
All right, well, write Rita right now, and we'll get you a T-shirt.
All right. Thank you very much, Jimmy.
Thank you so much.
Good night to all the FADERNIGHTs, and have a good night to you and Rita.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ty, and be safe up there.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you so much. There you go. Thank you, Ty. Thank you for the report, by the way. And I've got you right here. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Open lines, 323-825-5045.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Do you know what's in your body soap? Well, I didn't know the answer until about 5 years ago when I looked at the label of my soap and was shocked to see all the chemicals. For my entire life, I had been assaulting the largest organ of my body, my skin, and to think my children were using it too. Well, a lot has changed since then. Today, my family and I operate Stone City Farms, where we make and sell all-natural goat milk soap using fresh goat milk from goats we raise on our farm. Our mission at Stone City Farm is to produce high-quality, all-natural goat milk soap for people who want a fresh, unrefined, natural product. At Stone City Farms, we offer scented and unscented soaps and a signature line of gift sets customizable to your needs. To see what our customers are saying, go to StoneCityFarm.com. Use the code NATURAL for a 20% discount. That's StoneCityFarm.com, code NATURAL for 20% off your order. You never know what could be hiding in your soap.
Did you ever turn to your radio for your favorite talk show to find that it's been preempted for this?
In the air, to deep right center. Back goes Lewis to the wall, and it's all here!
Or this?
And I'm ashamed of you, Hillary, for voting for it.
Do you have a favorite talk radio program that's not available in your city? Just go to TalkStreamLive.com for links to the best streaming talk radio shows. At TalkStream Live, you will find live talk shows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All your favorites are here. With such a large selection, you will also discover some new favorites. On the go and still want to listen? With the mobile smartphone, simply type TalkStream Live on your internet browser. Now you can take internet radio with you. You will also find hundreds of music, news, and sports streams. Best of all, the TalkStream Live directory is free and there's never a login required. Remember TalkStreamLive.com, the fastest route between you and your favorite talk radio show.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back to Fade to Black. Tonight's Fader Night, Thursday night, open lines all night long. It's your show. 323-825-5045. Just like always, reset the phone lines during the break. 323-825-5045. The U.S. has launched a new ground-based missile defense system in Romania. It started today, sparking fresh tensions with Russia, which quickly blasted the system as a threat to its security, and I can only imagine how they feel. The system, to be operated by NATO, and this is how they did the end around on this one, is getting up and running nearly a decade after the U.S. first announced plans to do so. Only, to encounter pushback from Russia, as Russia should. The United States has long insisted that the shield is directed against rogue states like Iran and not intended to target Moscow's missiles. But Russian officials have slammed the move as an attempt to destroy the strategic balance in Europe. Now, I ask you, Iran? Really? Romania? Yeah, I'm sure that's on their target list. President Barack Obama scrapped the original George W. Bush administration's planned bilateral deployment of a different system that was to Poland and the Czech Republic, and has instead pursued a NATO-centric approach using the alternate technology. Like I said, that's the end around, right? It's NATO. It's NATO. The system is to be turned over to NATO command and will be housed at a U.S. naval support facility in Deverselu, Romania, the site of a Romanian military base. Construction will begin on an additional anti-missile platform in Poland tomorrow. Man, I just don't get it. Now, of course, the first strike, this is how you have to look at this. You have the first strike capability of Russia sitting right there firing into Europe, and nothing, in a situation like that, nothing is probably even going to go up into the atmosphere, man. That stuff is going to stay low and fast and just fine. So you're talking about minutes, and to react. So if there would be any type of first strike situation coming out of Russia, that they need to defend Europe. I get that. I do. But does it have to be right on the Russian border in Poland, Czechoslovakia? I mean, just totally poking them in the eye with a hot stick. Can't that stuff be installed somewhere else, further back a little bit? I mean, really? And this is the other thing, and I talk about this all the time on the show, is what interest, honestly, really, today, what interest would Russia have in just eliminating everything right there? Not only on their border, but the reaction would come back, and it's over. The game is over. Life is over. What do they have to gain? I almost look at it the same way with Iran. I mean, Iran firing off a nuclear missile, getting that capability and doing that, it's game over. There's nothing to be, there's no advantage to this. The threat is what you have, but you're never going to fire anything because it's game over. You know who wins? South Africa, Ethiopia, the places that probably wouldn't be bombed. There would be a slight chance of survival. Antarctica, Alaska, the Aborigines over in Australia. It's just a crazy thought. I just don't see it happening. I just don't. And then we have the whole idea out there of alien intervention, that there's a reason why nothing has been used offensively. Now, and the reason why these missile defense systems seem crazy to me, that's not the threat. That's not what I'm scared of. I'm scared of the crazy dude, that wants to do some kind of dirty bomb in some city, not only here in the United States, but anywhere in the world. And that hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened. But that's what you can't control. You can control everything else through dialogue and talk and sensibilities. The Russians and the Chinese and the French and the anybody else who's got a weapon, even Pakistan and India. We're talking about practical, pragmatic thoughts and diplomats that are there. You can work that stuff out. Nobody's going to use anything. It's the guy that doesn't have dialogue, that you're not in communication with, that happens to be able to put something together. That's what I'm afraid of. That's where, man, a missile defense system can't defend against anything like that. Hey, did you see the pictures, by the way, that we posted over on our Facebook page of the AN 225? the Antonov AN-225. It is the biggest plane in the world. It's the undisputed superstar of the skies. It's the biggest airplane in the world, and it is beyond the scope of reason when you look at this. Well, it just took off on a very rare delivery mission across 3 continents. It's Ukrainian, by the way, and it's named the Mirya, and it's one of a kind. There is no other. It's so uber rare to see this thing fly because there's only one, right? Well, it flew 2 days ago, took off in Prague, and it drew crowds. They were in awe. This big boy defied gravity, man, to see this thing take off. It is huge. C-5A Galaxy, nothing compared to the size of this thing. And then it touched down at Václav Havel Airport in the Czech Republic. It was officially designated the AN-225. I just call it Humongo. Developed in the 1980s to carry the Soviet version of their space shuttle. And as we know, that never happened. So this thing sits on its own. I'm talking about, seriously, 18-wheelers, man, can just roll into this thing. It is huge. Go check out the pictures. Very rare seeing this thing take off. And just go over to our Facebook page. Check it out. And also announced today, Google parent company Alphabet Inc. briefly today became the largest U.S. company by market capitalization. Happened this morning, surpassing Apple. Shares of Apple dropped below $90 for the first time since 2014, as Wall Street has been worried about a slow demand ahead for the anticipated launch of the new iPhone later this year. You know, the 6S and the 6S Plus, man, you know what? There you go. And those sales dropped off, too, as well. Well, in early market trading, Alphabet's market cap was $498 billion, while Apple's dropped to $496. There you go. Man, $500 billion in market cap. Absolutely insane. I think the success of the 6S Plus, right? Okay, flooded the market, did. Everybody that wanted one got one, and now a year later, really, does everybody want to get the new iPhone? Man, and that 6S Plus, as nice as it is, it's not as big as my cell phone, by the way. Mine is bigger and better. I got the LG G4. But to run out and just get another one, the 6S Plus is great. The 6S is great. You know, I don't know, man. Could they? You know, Android has taken over. I never would have thought that would be the case, but Android just might be the better phone. I'm just saying. Well, it was announced today, and this is something that we have to talk about, and I will take your calls on this. 323-825-5045. The FBI is in possession of 80,000 files detailing possible support for the 9/11 hijackers and the support that they received from a Saudi family. It's a brand new report just released, while a former 9/11 commission member says that there is a strong link between the Saudis and the terrorist attacks. The FBI files are related to, this is no joke, and I need you to listen to me, are related to an investigation of a Saudi family that were living in Sarasota, Florida, that suddenly vanished about 2 weeks before 9/11. One of the few related case documents highlights the investigation and says that it revealed many connections between one family member and individuals associated with the terrorist attacks. Right? Now, check this out. Visitor logs from the family's gated community show that one of the 9/11 ringleaders, Mohammed Atta, you know, the famous Atta, actually visited the house with another hijacker, Ziad Jarrah. Oh, yeah. Alleged contacts between the family and 3 hijackers were documented by the FBI, and that there were many phone calls coming in and out of the Saudi family's house, and they were in direct connection with the hijackers. This is not only damning, but frightening information. The details of this investigation that were initiated back in April 2002 were never given to the 9/11 committee. Think about what I just said. The ideas behind 9/11, the theories that are out there. We just had John Lear on the show, and his 3D holographic imaging, Project Bluebeam imaging of the planes hitting the building, and that's what the people on the streets saw. Okay, all right, fine. Put that on the table. Let's discuss it. But my point that I've always said when it comes to 9/11 is that the greater conspiracy here is that if Washington, D.C. knew in advance that these were going to happen, and they allowed it to happen or participated or let it happen, that is the big... Now we've got issues. And that is where we need to stand up and go, you know what? Wait a minute here. A lot of people died. And did you know? And did you not do anything? Or were you a willing participant? But information like this, the odds of Atta being at this family's house in Sarasota are too extreme. That's not an accident. They weren't just drinking buddies. And they left the country. And when you combine that with the bin Laden family being allowed to fly outside of the United States and escape, when we had a strict no-fly, anything, grounding of all air in the United States at that time, and the only plane flying besides Air Force One is a Saudi family named bin Laden, and you want to tell me that there was no advance notice of anything? That's the conspiracy. And that's where it starts. Where it ends from there, I don't know. But that's when I throw up the flags. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black.
Hey, Jerry. It's Brandon from Boston calling.
Hey, man. How are you?
Hey, I'm all right. Just wanted to, I agree with you on 9/11 because, I mean, there's two separate things, right? It's like, we know that for a fact it was taken advantage of, and but was it intentional? Was it an intentional thing? That makes a world of a difference. You know what I mean?
It completely does. I don't want to interrupt you, but you're absolutely right. I mean, either it was bin Laden, Al Qaeda, and hijackers, and Washington didn't have a clue, Saudi Arabia didn't have a clue, and it was just bin Laden clandestinely putting this thing together, and nobody had any idea that this was happening. Now, if that's the scenario that they want us to believe and swallow, correct? Right? It was bin Laden, it was him, it was Al Qaeda, it was top secret, it was so good that nobody knew. They got all those 22 hijackers in the United States, all took flying lessons and had apartments and funding and sleeper cells, and we didn't know anything, and they just went to Boston and got on planes and did this, right? And nobody knew, right? Okay, so there's that part. And then there's everything else. Okay, and if Saudi Arabia knew and they were funded and Washington knew about this and the FBI was investigating and the CIA was in on it and they knew that this was and they knew, you know what? There are some big problems here. And if the FBI knew going back to 2002, and they didn't.
Well, the thing is that my issue with that is that it's such a huge conspiracy that there'd definitely be some kind of leak, I would think,
Well, but it's leaking now. Do you see what I'm saying? It's starting to unravel. Now, when you take it to the next level, tactical nuclear weapons or thermite, all of these are possibilities that this was going on for a while inside of, 1 and 2, buildings 1 and 2. And then, of course, you have building 7 that, and you start to, get this further and further out there where it's getting harder and harder to believe. Right. And I understand why. But the thing is, if just a little bit of this conspiracy is true, then, man, it's just you don't know what to believe. Because once somebody is told a lie, then nothing is true after that. You don't know what to believe. You don't know who to trust.
That's true. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Do you buy into when somebody gets on a witness stand, right, and they get caught in one lie, and then, the attorneys step back and go, see, one lie. We can't trust anything that he says. Get him off the stand, right? Well,
case dismissed. Yeah, absolutely.
It's the same thing here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It should be. Absolutely.
And, the other part that I have a problem with, Brendan, and I want to ask you about this. You remember when the CIA generated a letter from Africa buying uranium, right?
Yellow cake.
Yeah, yellow cake from
Joe Wilson.
Between Saddam and that was they had weapons. You know what? That was and that caused the Britain to get involved, in the UK, and Tony Blair waving that letter around. We've intercepted when everybody knew that letter was fake and false and generated, and caused us to start to plan this invasion going into Iraq. All of this is part of the same web. And it is so far spread and so out of control that it causes you to say, you know what, I don't know who to trust.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it's like an act of magic almost. And this will, segue perfectly to what I wanted to talk about was, it's like political, what's the word, prestidigitation, whatever it is, magic. When Colin Powell went up there and said, there's this type of chemical to the UN, and it's like so people look at it and they say, oh wow, yeah, he's holding up a real chemical. It must be a real chemical thing. They show up a photo of things. People are so deceived by their eyes, Jimmy. That's why you can't trust the TV news too much. You know what I mean? Or even regular news, like you say, flip it 180, and then that's probably it's the news. You know what I mean? The truth.
You remember when Colin Powell waved around that little vial of anthrax?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
You remember that? Now, look. This is what's really nutty about that. Obviously, he was a tool. After that, and after everything that went down, he disappeared, man. There was no way that he could show his face in public again because he knew that he was a complete tool, and he lied at the United Nations, and he had to carry that burden with him. Now, but the thing is, by showing that bottle of anthrax, you had better, if we're going to go and commit and put our sons and daughters in harm's way for you, and you're going to go and make that speech, buddy, you better come up with piles of anthrax and factories and weapons and nothing. And the problem that I have with that, Brendan, is then you have the people on the other side going, well, it was the CIA selling them anthrax, and so we had to go in there with covert teams and get the anthrax out of there and blow it up because it said, United States on it, and we would have been traced back to the United States labs, and you can do, you know what? I'm not buying that. One single use of a weapon that we didn't find anything. There isn't a United States soldier anywhere that's going to stand up and say, what, we found anthrax there. And it was just all part of the big scheme, the big ruse. Yes.
And I know the UN weapons inspector, Marine Scott Ritter. who was a UN weapons inspector who made sure that Saddam had no weapons of mass destruction. And he can verify that, 99% of it was gone and all that. And he did a really great job. He was outspoken Republican against that magical act to bring us back to Iraq, for whatever reason we're there for. So, if you don't mind, I wanted to segue into something pretty cool.
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead, Ben. It's your call.
All right, thanks, man. First of all, thanks for recommending Peter Levenda for me. I received the first, I think it's the 3-volume Sinister Forces trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
I had the first volume, read most of that, very fascinating. I mean, it's exactly as you said. I watched the Amsterdam, I think it's an Amsterdam video.
Oh, isn't that the best? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And then, and so I'm catching up on this stuff. And I remember the last interview he said that, he was working on a secret project and he couldn't reveal his next book, what he was working on. So I got an email, I think it was yesterday or today, from Peter Levenda, and this is his new book. And maybe you're going to hear it here first, but I mean, it's out there and it's on Amazon and everything. So, and it's awesome. It's called The Lovecraft Code.
Yep, and we're going to have. Thank you. You're almost like a producer on the show now for announcing that. But yeah, we're going to have Peter on the show here. I don't know if it's next week or the week after, but Peter is coming back, and he's the best. And I was, I've been able to hang out with Peter and break bread and just talk and I'm not trying to make you jealous. What I'm trying to say is when you look into his eyes and you talk to this guy, he is all that. And
I bet. But it says it's I guess it's sort of like Da Vinci Code, right? It's like he's done nonfiction, obviously, tremendous research, and this is sort of like a Da Vinci Code, but a Lovecraft Code. Let's see. Hailed by author Christopher Farnsworth of Blood Oath as a more intelligent Da Vinci Code, and by Whitley Strieber, The Key, as a riveting work of fiction. This book will thrill Lovecraft aficionados, readers of reality-based thrillers, and conspiracy theorists alike. So I am really looking forward to that. That's going to be pretty cool.
Right on, man. There's nobody better than Peter Levenda.
Hey,
thank you so much, Brandon, for the phone call.
Thanks, Jimmy, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, you
weekend.
too. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're going to have Peter on here in a couple of weeks, and we'll get that happening. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Fader Night, 323-825-5045. We're giving away T-shirts tonight, by the way. I already gave away a pile. All first-time callers, 323-825-5045. Oh, yeah, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA The Planet. This is truly the best night of the week. I'll be right back.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal God on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
KGRA Radio. Intelligent talk.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If your home has hard water and it's leaving white spots, then it's likely that limescale is clogging your pipes. Limescale can cost hundreds of dollars a year in wasted energy and early appliance breakdown. HydroCare systems available at Wave Home Solutions prevent and remove limescale with just a simple filter change every 3 years. There are no salts, chemicals, or magnetic coils. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, just go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Hi, I'm Richard Dolan. When I'm not hosting my radio program, The Richard Dolan Show on KGRA, or writing new books on UFOs, I run a publishing company. I'm proud to say that Richard Dolan Press has published some of the most fascinating books available on UFOs and related subjects. They include Dr. Bruce Maccabee's classic analysis of the UFO cover-up, David Marler's breakthrough book on triangular UFOs, Dr. Richard Sauter's unique work on underground bases, and other classics by Grant Cameron, Chase Kletsky, and Dr. Bob Wood. Not to mention intriguing works by Eve Lorgan and Laurie MacDonald that deal with truly bizarre phenomena. I'm proud to publish such high quality and original works, and there are several amazing books about to be released over the next few months. Go to richarddolanpress.com to learn more.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back. 323-825-5045. Fade to Black Thursday night. I'm your so humble host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? I said in the opening little dialogue, the rant, that the skeptics, those debunkers, those doofuses, they've disappeared. They've scattered. You know, you turn on the light, middle of the night, and the cockroaches, they scatter. They've disappeared. They're nowhere around. We've won. Not the fight. We've won the war. Those guys are gone. They can't go at it. They can't do it. And it's an interesting thing that it's an interesting position that we find ourselves in today. You know, if myself, somebody like Race Hobbs, Race has got, he's got brass cojones. He'll go up against anybody. Or Dolan, Jason Martell. Some of these really uber smart cats that know what they're talking about. If they were on Larry King today, there's not going to be anybody that's going to want to get on the microphone and go against one of us. It ain't going to happen. You can't do it. If I'm out speaking somewhere, or if I'm at a conference and somebody else is speaking and I'm there, there isn't anybody that's going to raise their hand. Hey, questions from the audience? Yeah, you know what, man? I just don't think anything is going on. It ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Not because of the atmosphere, about, 500 faces turning around and looking at this guy going, huh, are you crazy? No, it's not because of that. It's that they can't present a convincing side of the argument. It doesn't exist anymore. It's pretty amazing. You're not going to do it. And the best evidence, the best proof I can give you of that is we have the TV shows. We have the radio programs. There is no skeptic radio network. There is no skeptic radio program. Yeah, let's take some calls. It doesn't exist. There's no skeptic conference. I forget that rag that Shermer used to put out. What was it called? That Skeptics magazine. I'm sure at its peak, it, probably had a mailing list of 5,000. I'm sure, maybe more. There were rumors that there was 55,000 members. Well, okay, most of them academics, not real people, if you know what I'm saying. But I'm sure that it's not in. I don't know. Is it in print? Somebody do me a favor, really quick. Look up Michael Shermer. What was the name of his magazine? And is that still in print? That organization, are there, do they have any subs? Do they have a YouTube channel? That's what I'm trying to say. You see how funny that sounds? Because they can't. What are they going to sit and argue about? What are they going to put up the good fight about? It doesn't exist. Doesn't it feel good? And for somebody to say something so ridiculous that, anybody that says UFO conferences are shrinking, no. They haven't been to Contact in the Desert. They haven't been to the UFO Congress. They haven't been there. We just came from the New Living Expo. Thousands, huge. Conscious Life Expo right here at the LA airport. I'm going to guess and say 5,000, 4,000 attendees. It's huge. It's huge. Let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Kevin from near St. Louis, Missouri.
Kevin, near St. Louis. Are you saying near because you're driving by? What does that mean?
I live in a little city called Washington, Missouri, actually.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah.
And you're on the Missouri side of the border, the good side.
That's right. Yeah, I'm west of the Mississippi.
No, hey, all the people on the other side, I'm not saying that that's not the good side. I'm saying the barbecue on the Missouri side will just knock your thing in the dirt. That's what I'm talking about.
Usually, Kansas City's got a better reputation for that, but yeah, that's still us. So
it's true, man. I've been there. I have been there. I've been to both sides of that fence, and I'm just saying, you know what? There's people right now in St. Louis that are going, church, man. You're so look. It's just all a preference, right? It's just a taste. And you know what?
Yeah.
And the good people of Kansas City, the barbecue there, it's okay. It's okay. Nashville is pretty smoking. Memphis is pretty dang good. And you know what? New Orleans has got something to say about that, too, as well. So there you go. All right. How to offend to your audience in one sentence. There you go. I just showed everybody how to do it. So what's cracking, Kevin? What's on your mind tonight?
Oh, man. So much is on my mind, actually. But, you just said something that once again triggered me to want to call. And that
have you called? You're a first-time caller.
Actually, I'm a second-time caller. My first time was on Tuesday night. I was the last caller you had on the John Lear Part 2 show.
Oh.
I was the guy who asked you about Tom DeLonge's Secret Machines project.
Oh, yeah. I remember. All right. You know what? That gets a T-shirt. Okay, but go ahead.
Okay, that's cool.
We'll straighten that out in a second, but go ahead.
No, yeah, like I said, I just every other sentence you speak just makes me want to call in and talk for hours. But, your last comment about Michael Shermer, I saw him in a YouTube video a week or two ago with Tom DeLonge on Larry King. And, man, you just want to reach to the screen and just choke that guy. Like, he's just so pretentious. And it's these fundamentalist skeptics. They will just bend over backwards to just try to explain away everything. And it's just ridiculous. I mean, it really is. But,
yeah, Shermer, look, Shermer, I'm going to be straight about Shermer, okay? All right? I'm going to be straight right now. And I hope somebody turns him on to this, or maybe he's listening. But I'm going to say this. He doesn't believe his own BS. He does not. And I know this. You can look at him and you can tell it's killing him to continue. But you know what? He's getting paid to be there. And I'm telling you, there's just no way. He's too smart. He's just too smart. He knows this. But they use him as somebody to be up there to cause a debate. That's why he's there. And there's nobody else. There's nobody else, man. There's nobody. He's all by himself now, you know, and that's it. And is he pretentious? Yes. Is he self-serving? Yeah. Does he have that attitude? Yes. All of that, it just reeks off of him. Now, do you think he would be a cool dude to go out and drink with?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like you said, you know, I mean, he's obviously not a dumb guy. But it's like you just got to ask, like, how is someone so smart? I mean, I don't know. That in and of itself is a mystery. But, yeah, I mean, I would love to actually, you know, meet the guy. You know, I could have a civil discussion with him.
I could, too. He would just lose. And see, the thing is about Michael, the reason why I say that he hasn't been relevant in 10 years, because if you go back, his relevancy was back before the data and the information and the internet and you know, just things were available to us. And now he knows this. I mean, he just knows the data. And I'll give you a beautiful example where he just cannot just sit here and talk to me. Is, you know, yesterday or the day before, Kepler and those announcements about Kepler, an additional, you know, 1,200 planets have been discovered, bringing the total up to 2,300, proved, you know, actual evidence. But then NASA saying, you know what, every star has got a planet around it. Now we're, you know, and you know, Shermer, just stop with that, man. Just stop with it. You know, that's it. He can't go anywhere now.
Yeah, I mean, I run in. I mean, I'm sure all of us, we all run into, you know, every day, just, you know, people like him, you know, lay people, normal people, just they don't take it seriously, and it just makes you angry and whatnot. But I mean, I think those days are numbered, though. I mean, like I said, I mean, I've been into this for 25 years, you know, ever since I was a little boy. But it's just my passion for it was really reignited recently with that Coast to Coast interview with Tom DeLonge and George Knapp. That Secret Machines interview was just, I mean, not to sound cliche, but it was mind blowing.
Yeah, is that your son in the background?
Yes, actually, he's just fussing. He's tired. His name, by the way, his name is E.T. I'm not even kidding about that. I named him E.T. But yeah, no, I can't get him to be quiet.
Yeah, it's okay, man. It's totally cool. And just tell him that you know, that he's now a star. And, you know, tomorrow, play the replay of the show for him and go, see, that's you in the background, and watch his face. That's what you sound like.
Yeah, well, right now he's only 10 months old, so I might have to wait a little bit to do that. But,
yeah.
His full name is Enoch Matthias Eckelkamp, so, of course, I just call him E.T. But, and yeah, those initials were very, very intentional.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kevin. And hey, man, so write Rita on our contact page, okay? You know what to do.
I will do that.
All right, man. Have a great, safe night, brother.
You too.
I'll talk to you. And tell E.T. I said yo.
I'm going to tell him.
All right, man. Have a good night, Kevin.
You too. Bye.
Fade to Black. 323-825-5045. 323-825-5045. You know, and look, the thing is about Shermer, I'm ragging on him because he's all there is. There's nobody, you know, there's not too many people out there to take shots at. But Michael built a little cottage industry, you know, the whole skeptics thing. And I know that they've got a little skeptics, you know, groups around the world. They, you know, they're shrinking, but they still get together and play cards and and do their thing. And he had a little cottage, he built a little thing, had his magazine, and he became the front person for all of it. But there isn't anywhere to go. Now, what is he going to, argue the points of Ghost or Bigfoot and say, whatever. Whatever. People don't care about that opinion anymore. And, so they get together and they go, rah, rah, team. Rah, rah, team. There is no UFOs. And they sit around frustrated and just get angry together. But they are so minuscule, such a small part of us. We won that war. That's it, man. That's it. They're going to sit around and argue Sidonia. Oh, man. Mars. Can you believe that they... You know what? Whatever. Go talk about flat Earth. Waste your time on that. Shermer. All right. The worldwide hacking organization known as Anonymous is now making a more direct and personal threat towards the city of Denver's highest elected leader, the mayor. Yeah, the video today said, and I'm quoting here, "Greetings, Mayor Michael Hancock. We have been waiting for you to respond for our most recent request, but we find ourselves growing impatient with your foot dragging." Now, when Anonymous sends you that message, dude, sit up, listen, and snap to attention. You don't want Anonymous, the good people of Anonymous, in your stuff, because they are not going to stop. In a newly released video, the organization details the 2011 allegations that Hancock was linked to a prostitution ring known as the Denver Players Club. And you may remember that back in 2011. Now, those allegations were never proven to be true. He escaped it. In the video, the group asked for the city to repeal the camping ban and homeless sweeps that and ultimately ask for the mayor to step down. That's what all of this is about. Now, had Hancock been a man with morals and not pursued the stuff that he has done against the homeless, then Anonymous probably would have left him alone. But they went back, and they're looking at the homeless situation there right now, and they went back and went, wait a minute. That's right. Denver's Players Club. Hancock was involved in that. And now that's it. It's amazing. Now, they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop until he steps down. And he could probably go back and straighten out and repeal and do that and take care of this homeless thing. He probably could, but it's too late. Anonymous is on him. Up in him. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable story. You should see the video too. I remember the first time I saw an Anonymous video, and it reminded me a little bit, George Orwell, yes, and the whole 1984 thing, going back to like the Apple computer ad, for the Super Bowl, that kind of eeriness that only the British can put together. They put together surreal imaging for you, not only in books, but the way that they make their films. And, it gets creepy, right? And that's what hit me with Anonymous, that this could be put together. An organization that doesn't have a head, doesn't have a leader. It's a collective. It's a group. And when they put all of that brain power together and they come after you, man, they are going to win. That's it. They're going to win. It's kind of weird. That policing, that whole ability to do that, I think is eventually, that's your worldwide United Nations police force right there. That's it. Don't ever get on the wrong side of Anonymous. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. You're live. Yeah, you're live right now.
Oh, hi, Jimmy. I was calling, hoping to win tickets to Contact in the Desert.
Oh, we did that last night.
Darn.
Yeah, we did that last night. So, what's your name?
Patricia.
Okay, Patricia, this is what you need to do. Go to our website and enter the contest there. Okay? Enter the Contact in the Desert contest. Get your information in there. And
got it.
Yeah, and we're going to be giving away I think it's still open for another week or so. But yeah, you need to go and enter. I mean, last night we gave away we gave away 4, but we gave away a 5th pass last night from our website. So go and enter.
Will do. It was really a blast. Last year I had a great time.
Oh, you went. You went. Did I meet you?
No. I spent so much time with my sister who came with. But I just want to put it out there that if you are teetering on the edge, go for it. It's such a fun time. It is a truly beautiful place regarding the energy. There's like great mother energy there. It's very uplifting.
Yeah, it totally is. And I wish, see, this is the thing, Patricia, I'm not in control of the tickets, right? I'm not in control. If I had them right now, I would give, it's not my event. The only thing that I could suggest is entering the contest. And it does work. It does work. And I don't know how many more tickets we're going to give away, but we're certainly going to give away some. And the only way to do it is to go and enter. But I'm going to ask you a question. How come you didn't come up and say hello last year? What stopped you?
Oh, there's 311 things to do at one time. I mean, it's just overstimulation to some extent, although it's a very peaceful place, but never got around to it.
Okay. I'm not really buying what you're selling right now, Patricia. I'm not really buying it. But isn't it? It is all of that. It's magical. It's cool. It's happening. The people. You cannot top. You cannot top what Joshua Tree is, and the retreat center. You walk around.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Did you see the? What do they call it? The maze. The labyrinth.
The labyrinth. We went by there. It's a wonderful thing to do. If there's not a crowd around, or even if there is, just have a few minutes to center yourself in prayer or whatever your tradition is and walk the labyrinth. There's the little wading pool and the actual swimming pool, too, which is really wonderful. Take a dip at the hot time, in the middle of the afternoon if you're not in a lecture.
Right.
All the vending, that's always fun. You'll drop a lot of money if you're not careful.
Yeah, right.
It's a wonderful scene. It's a wonderful scene, like a gathering of the clan.
Yeah, totally. And it's big and it's open. You're not all compressed unless you're in a venue where, everybody is packed in. But you can walk around. Mm-hmm. You can go and hang out. You can get away. You can go and eat or go take a break and just walk around and look at the scenery, and it's just an incredible event. And unless you've been there, you just don't know. When people hear you describe it, or me that haven't been there, I know they're probably going, hey, you know what? It's probably not all that. They're so wrong, because it is all
last
that.
Last year was my first year, and I was impressed. It was more than I expected. It was bigger there. The land, the center itself was bigger and more open than I expected. It's a wonderful weekend, wonderful little vacation.
Now,
really wonderful.
Patricia, where are you calling from?
Northern California.
Okay. Have you called the show before?
No, this is the first time.
Okay. Well, then we're going to get you a T-shirt for sure. So what I want you to
Thank you.
Yep, and what I want you to do is write Rita. Just go to our contact page. I have your name and number here, and just go do it, and we'll get you all hooked up. And hopefully we'll see you at Contact in the Desert.
Well, things are going to have to, the stars are going to have to align for me to go this year. It doesn't look like it, but definitely on my plan for next year. But I encourage everybody who's thinking about it to just go for it.
Okay.
Great.
Well, do me a favor. Definitely write Rita. We'll get you a T-shirt and go and enter the contest, okay?
Will do. Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you, Patricia.
Bye now.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks, I'm sure. That's going to get worked out somehow. Fade to Black, 323-825-5045. All right, 323-825-5045. Check this out really quick before I get back to the phones. NASA astronauts aren't the only ones who are going to suit up in new gear inspired by sci-fi films. I'm not joking about this. SpaceX plans to give their astronauts spacesuits designed by Jose Fernandez. Yeah, that Jose Fernandez, the legendary costume designer, sculptor, helmet and armor designer, and the founder of Ironhead Studio. He's best known for his helmets, armor, superhero suits, and other costume elements for such films like Oblivion, G.I. Joe. You remember those? In Retaliation? How about Jupiter Ascending? How about Tron Legacy? How about Thor, X-Men 2? And he also did Batman versus Superman and Captain America Civil War. And I gotta say, I've always wondered, looking at what we have and thinking, you know what? Why don't they have some of the cool stuff? Why don't they look like that? Well, SpaceX, they're going to make sure. Tron Legacy, Thor, amazing. John Lear brought up a good point the other night when he was talking about the spacesuits, that they don't block any, radiation. And I've often wondered about that. It was just material, right? Just material. Now, it's one thing to have the thought of X-rays, right? And infrared. We get that. We get what infrared is. We understand it. We get sunburned. You want to die? Go get sun cancer. Lay out in the sun for a year straight and get sunburned every day and see what happens. We understand that. But when it comes to the really deadly stuff, gamma rays, what spacesuit is doing that? And how much gamma ray is exposed to you, not only inside of the capsule, but on the surface of the moon? I don't understand, but those spacesuits weren't blocking anything. It was just material. Think about that. I am totally, totally fascinated with the lack of protection and why we never had somebody come in and design a real spacesuit. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Take a quick break. 323-825-5045. If you are on hold, stay right there. I'll pick up the calls right after this break. Yeah, and I know who's coming up next. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA. The Planet is Thursday, my favorite night of the week. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. 323-825-5045. Coming up next, our good friend from Canada. On hold. Stay right there.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds, and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got. Nature's Youth, and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923, and like them on Facebook, and you'll be included in contest and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
What's up, Fadernauts? Studio Dome loves Fade to Black and the F2B audience so much that they have put together the ultimate stereo Bluetooth system. They've done it just for you. Man, check this out. The Studio Dome SBB2 stereo system is here. It's featuring 2 Studio Boombox 2 SBB2 wireless Bluetooth speakers, packed in its own custom hardshell case. This Studio Dome system features the very latest in stereo Bluetooth technology. The 2 full-range boomboxes are in true wireless stereo. You've got to hear this. It's amazing. It's just $129, and use the promo code JCRTWS, and you'll also get free shipping. It's simple. Just go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on the Studio Dome banner. Go Beckley Teppy.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back to Fade to Black. Tonight's Thursday, Fader Night. 323-825-5045. Taking your calls. It's your show. Let's go back to the phones because we have the one and only Myra. Myra, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's good to hear your voice. Cool week on the show, huh?
Yes, it has been. I've had an allergy attack all week, so I've been taking allergy pills in the evening and haven't heard a lot of your show, but I've been trying to listen to it at podcast because if you pay $2 a month, you can get unlimited Jimmy Church.
Yes, you can.
Fade to Black shows on your smartphone. Yeah.
Thanks for the promo.
It is really helpful.
Thanks for the promo. Okay, so allergy pills, what does that do to you? It makes you sleep?
Yeah, that's why I can't take them in the morning. So I'm like sneezing McSneester all morning, and then when I come home from work, I just can't take it anymore, and I take pills, and then I'm home. Then I'm like sleepy at 8. So yeah, it sucks for my life, but I'm trying to take them later now.
So what was your favorite show this week? And I know that's what you're calling about.
That's not really what I'm calling about.
Oh, okay. Then why?
I'm calling to complain, which I told Rita and like a couple of hours ago, and she said, "Are you dialing yet?" And so I'm calling to complain about Fort McMurray.
I'm listening. What's going on?
So Fort McMurray, big city, an oil city, but it burnt to the ground. A lot of it has been. And what response did Canada get from other countries?
Well, I brought that up earlier in the week
Oh, did you?
And I had asked, did we give any assistance? And I was told, I think it was from Dennis, he said that Canada didn't want any help, that they had it handled.
Well, maybe Dennis is far more intelligent than I am, but I was just seeing this all around today that, like, when Australia had their floods, we gave money. When Katrina happened, we were there immediately. When, like, before even some Americans were, Canadians were there. When fires happened all around the world, like in the UK or whatever. we were always there. And then when a city gets totally taken down, I'm like, meh, what is the response from other countries? Because yeah.
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
Is it one of those friends that always does stuff for you, but when things happen to them, you're like, eh?
Yeah, of course. That's that feels like that's what happens.
Yeah.
And if you look at with the United States, when anything like that happens with any country around the world, we're there. We always give assistance. It doesn't matter, what's going on. And I even said earlier in the week that, you know what, if something crazy went down in North Korea, we would be the first there. As bad as things are, it's just the way that it is. So I assumed,
yeah, so would we. Yeah.
I assumed that we had sent, airplanes and firefighters and, water dropping helicopters to Canada. I just assumed that we did, and I guess that we didn't. And I'm sure that we offered, and Trudeau had said I could be speaking way out of line. But he said, that we've got this handled. That's just...
if he did say that, that would be really awkward because the whole city has been burnt down, and the fire was out of control for like 3 or 4 days. So that would be a not great decision on his part.
Yeah.
And I'm all about him, but I don't know. Dennis is much more thorough than I am, so he must have better information.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, what is the Canadian media saying about this?
Well, that's where I'm coming from. Like, I don't know if it's Canadian media or Facebook or whatever, but it's like I'm seeing a lot of like, oh, so Iraq had floods. Oh, so this. All these countries that we sent millions of dollars to, like Katrina and California and blah, blah, blah. And then when something happens in Canada, it's just really, really quiet.
Okay, this is...
Nobody does anything.
Okay, Dennis...
I really feel like we're the ugly friend that is always like, oh, yeah, sure, we'll be there for you, no problem. But then when it comes to it...
Okay, this is the statement. This is the statement from Trudeau, okay? The good news is,
yeah, thank you.
Okay, Canada does not need any international help to fight the Fort McMurray wildfire at this point, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said on Monday. Offers from assistance from abroad were touching, Mr. Trudeau said, as the fire entered its second week. And he says, I'm quoting here, the good news is from the support that we've seen from the Canadians across the country, different provinces sending over water bombers, engaged in all sorts of different ways, firefighters coming in from all across the country to help us, that there is no need to accept any international assistance at this point. But we certainly thank everyone for their generosity, Mr. Trudeau said at a news conference in Ottawa.
Don't I feel sheepish?
Well, it says here the United States, Russia, Mexico, Australia, Taiwan, Israel, and the Palestinian Authority all offered to help, according to Jon Rappoport, the Global Affairs Canadian spokesperson. He said that offers are considered against the technical needs on the ground and by the experts fighting the fire, and that the need for international assistance is not anticipated.
Can I get in the DeLorean and go back for 5 minutes ago?
That's okay. And look.
Before I started this rant?
This got posted after you started the rant. See, so.
Well, thank you for trying to give me a little bit of clearance there, but I don't know about that.
That's okay.
Another thing.
Yes.
I really want to go to Contact in the Desert, and I know that I didn't enter the contest or anything, but I think it would be really fun to meet you guys. But if I showed up last minute and hung around the gates, I could be holding water or something. You think? I could be your ice delivery person.
That's Les. Les did that last year. He saved my life, actually. But Myra, can you get to Contact in the Desert? Can you get there?
I can get there.
Okay.
If I want to get there, I'll get there.
All right. Well, I like I said, let's see what can happen. Okay. And if you
yes, like your last person I called too.
Okay. Well, we can't do this. You can't put me on the spot live on the air. Just.
I'm sorry, Jimmy, but I also want to say, Jimmy, I'm sorry. I had a big presentation today, and I'm so glad it's over. And I had a glass of wine tonight. I apologize, but I do want to say that I think you're just the most amazing host. You're just so nice to people. You're so nice to your guests, and you actually challenge them too. Like sometimes when I'm like, really? You actually say what I'm thinking. You actually ask what I'm thinking sometimes. So I just think that you are a really good guest, a really good host, and you're really good to your guests. And I love listening to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Myra. And I did see your dog video the other day, by the way.
When I left it online,
Yeah.
I have
Hey,
that's the last time I'm going to listen to that. I'm going to do that.
Thank you so much, Myra. And we'll see you out of Contact in the Desert, all right?
Okay. Good night, Jimmy.
Have a great night. That's Myra from Canada. She wants to go to Contact in the Desert like everybody else, and you should want to go. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black.
Hey, Jimmy, it's Josh from Texas. How you doing?
Hi, Josh. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm a lot better. Been doing these hospitals. I imagine you probably think I've been drinking or something like that ever since I've been calling in. I've had problems with my throat.
Okay,
and
that's fine.
And they've been banding these veins. And anyway, they had about 15. And they're going at them at a time. And anyway, they said, well, we got 4 more to go. And I went in, and they did a sonogram, right? And saw them and everything like that. And they said, okay, well, this ought to be it. So yesterday I go in, they stick the tube down the throat, right?
Yeah.
And they cannot find them. They're gone.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, and came out of the surgery, and let me tell you, it's painful, and I mean, it hurts bad, and so when I came to, I wasn't like I was expecting, some hurt, and they look, usually it's about a 45-minute deal. I was in there 2 hours, and all I said, and everything looked good. Everything's good to go, man. And so, yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's kind of unbelievable. The doctors are totally blown away because the day before they had seen them.
Wow. So you're back, though. You're back.
Well, I'm back, and so I was kind of wondering. My wife said, "You need to sit down when you talk to me because you sound like you're drunk." When you talk to me and stuff. So, but the question I was going to ask, I had sent some pictures. You had Jim Mars on.
Yes.
And I was wondering if you ever received the photos.
No, I did. I don't think you ever sent them, or no, I never received them. You know what you should do? This is. I'm wondering if look. The simple way to do this is send them to Rita through the contact form on our website. That way, it will get to us. And that's the best way to do it because I never received them on my email. Okay, and it's not that big of a deal. Just do it through the contact form on the website. That way there's no mistakes.
Okay, I've done that. I sent emails to Rita. She's received it. I sent other photos and stuff from a while back, a long time ago. And but I will give that a shot. And I think you'll be amazed at this. I think this will blow your mind. For sure.
And I know that Mars wanted to see them. So just do it through the contact page and get them to us, and we'll take care of it, Josh. All right, my brother.
Will do, brother.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
All right. Thank you. All right, man. We'll talk to you soon.
You got it. Thank you so much, Josh. Let's go to, it wouldn't be a complete Fader night without having Dino in here. What's up, Dino?
Well, I had a thought. How are you? I had a thought. This John Lear, there's so much more that he could tell us, and we got to try to have him on again. Hopefully he'll be feeling better and can go longer. Some of the guests you've had on lately, it just warming up to CITD. It's like I'm sitting right behind you. You ask all the right things, Jimmy, but I want to know more. And I asked the same thing of Edgar Mitchell through the Skype feed at Contact in the Desert last year that I asked John Lear. I said, you've been sworn to secrecy or you've had top secret clearances. When you go, I try to do it gently, but when you die, is there some people that have some of these secrets that you can release? And Edgar Mitchell said, there are things that I will never break my oath, or something to that effect. Fran was there with me. And I wonder about Lear. I wonder if he even knows more. I wonder if, we got to try to have him on again. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, fair enough. Look, with John, first off, it's his health, and he's getting older and stuff. There's that part of it. But the second part of it is he's got so much information, and there's 10 hours of show there or longer with John. We could keep going and keep going and keep going. And he's got so many different areas and zones that you can go into. And there's only so much. The other night for 2 hours straight, what I tried to do, I did my best, was try to hear things that I've never heard him speak about before, ever.
That's important.
And because the other stuff is documented and it's out there and it's there. But I wanted to go into areas that have never been discussed and try to get that out of him. And we did that for 2 hours. And when you do that style of interview, it's very exhausting on the people that are on the receiving end of that. It's hard, man. It is hard. Trust me. At the end of a show, think about this. No matter what, I will have been on the air in 10 minutes for 3 hours. Aside from Jon Rappoport, I have now spoken or listened or asked questions for 3 straight hours. And I'm toast. I'm done at the end of 3 hours. Well, think about the guest. I do this every single night, Dino. I do it every single night. And I'm used to it. And I can get it done.
And you make it look easy, but we know it's tough.
Well, but for the guest, that's a whole nother thing. And for John, what did John say at the end of it, man? I'm used to going for an hour. I went for 2 hours tonight. It's hard, man. And these aren't questions that he was just on autopilot answering. And that's
right. And the guest you had earlier in the week that was sick, that bless him, he called in.
Bruce Gagnon.
You got to catch him when they're in a better time. You got to have them back. And I don't know how somebody else who won't be mentioned is doing a 5-hour show. That's crazy. Who can last that long? And the quality goes down. So we don't want any more time from you, Jimmy. We just want repeats.
I don't know who you're referring to, but it doesn't matter to me. The thing is, somebody doing a 5-hour talk show. There's just no way I would do it. 4 hours over on Coast is rough enough. Stretching things out to 5 hours, to me, for anybody, I don't care who it is. It doesn't matter who it is. It just doesn't. It's stupid. It's not a good idea. There's no way you are going to have an audience engaged for 5 hours. It ain't going to happen. Now, if you want people to come in and listen to you for the second 2 hours or listen to you for the first 2 hours or whatever, people have lives and they go out and they do the things. Nobody is sitting around and listening to somebody talk for 5 hours. That's just
unless they work graveyard, but most of us have to go to bed.
And the reason for that is nobody's going to be interesting for 5 hours. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. And doing that for one night or 2 nights or 3 nights, you know what? At the end of that, you're done. You're toast. And nobody's going to be able to. That's just anyway. Moving on. I don't know who you're referring to, but that's just not.
Well, that's just anyhow.
Smart.
You've made your point. But another subject that I get very concerned about all the geological changes, and I read that this week that there's evidence that the mantle of Earth is starting to shed some stuff, and that it may cause more earthquakes in unexpected areas. I mean, things are getting darn scary here between global warming, climate change, flooding. Some of the islands now are starting to be inundated by the ocean faster than they thought. These are scary times. And then Stephen Hawking told us not to try to find other civilizations off-world, but now he's hooked up to try to find them because he says we need to get off Earth. These are strange days indeed.
Yes, no doubt. And they may be strange, but I think it's getting better. And I really, really, really believe that. I'm in wonder when I look at the world and consciousness and where people, the way that they look and think about life now, today. It's never been like this ever in history. It's never been quite like this. We're aware, we're smart, we're inquisitive, we question like never, ever before. And I'm in a great mood when I look at the world.
And we can live to be 100 or 200 if we can get the medical care and the nutrition information out to everybody. I mean, they're talking about that in reality now.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the phone call, Dino, man.
Okay, one thing I forgot. I'm so sorry that I couldn't have hung with you guys a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot to give you your gift. I have a beautiful little keychain with a gray alien head on it that I kept meaning to give you, but I kept forgetting to bring it up. So maybe next time.
Well, we'll see a contact in the desert, right?
I don't think I'm going to be able to make it this year unless I can get some extra bread to come down there.
You'll be there. Stop it, Dino. We'll see you there. All right?
Good evening.
I'll talk to you. Hey, Les, what's up, brother?
Well, hello there, Jimmy.
What's up with this connection?
I'm sorry, I had to do that. Rita kind of dared me to do kind of like a Reagan or a Ronald Reagan.
Oh, I get it. You know what? I've got noise in the line, Les.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, you want me to try to reconnect?
Yeah, just reconnect right now.
Alrighty then.
Okay, bye. Back. Yeah, I got some noise in the line. Did you guys hear that? That wasn't me. Let's see if it's still there. Are you there, Les?
Is that better?
It sounds like, it sounds like you got a TV on or something.
You know what? It could be my computer that's right next to it, and then I apologize for that. Could be the fan on my computer.
Yeah, something's going on.
Yeah, sorry about that, bro.
Can you? All right.
Is that any better?
Nah. It's weird. But hold on. Yeah, man. It's okay. You know what? It doesn't matter. This is live radio. I'm just going to choose to ignore it. Just speak loudly.
All right. I can do that.
Okay. So, what's on your mind, man?
Well, Rapaport's on my mind. What you were talking about earlier tonight about the skeptics, losing the game is on my mind. A lot of really cool stuff was talked about tonight, and it's got me thinking. The people like Joe Nickel and Shermer and stuff like that were prevalent through the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s are gone, man. They're gone. They're not around anymore.
No, they're gone. And
I looked it up, dude.
Yeah.
They've got one thing going on one time a year in Las Vegas, and that's it.
Oh, okay. I wonder how many attendees.
Not many. Not enough to talk about anyway.
Right. So they have one event.
One event.
The Skeptics Society.
Yeah, something like that. CSI or some stupid thing like that. It's hilarious, isn't it?
Yeah, that must be a fun crowd.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't believe you. No, I don't believe you. I don't believe that either.
Yeah, totally. I mean, what do you do when you sit around with a bunch of bitter pills? You know, and do you just sit, what is it that you guys even talk about? Nobody's there to have fun. Nobody wants fun in their lives. Everything is, just hate. And, it's just, I don't know.
It's all about the almighty dollar for the skeptic, mostly, I think. I think a lot of times they came out with what they came out with because they knew they could make money at it.
I think that's a big part of it. The other thing is, for me, is when you sit in the 1960s and 1970s, and you're sitting with somebody that's talking about ancient history or lost civilizations or UFOs or anything, and their answer to everything is no, prove it. Right? And you're not sitting on piles of data, and you're not sitting on things unless you're, going to libraries and you're ready for this, because that's the only thing that they would depend on. There's no proof. Well, now it's a different story. When it comes to lost civilizations and lost history, or Egypt or Mars or whatever, things now, it's a different party. And now you can sit and go, okay, well, we've got this, we've got this, we've got this, we've got this, we've got this. And they don't have an answer for any of that.
No, and the internet and us connecting on being able to connect with other people and of like mind, and actually research things and actually listen to the things we enjoy. It's not only raising our consciousness, it's bringing humanity close together. And I think you're right when you're talking about you're seeing something good coming down the road for humanity. It's not going to necessarily be all bad. I think a lot of times we can figure out our problems if we just, like John said earlier, we get off our duff and we do something.
Yep. And you know what? This is what I picture now. Give them, if they really want to pee all over something, just give them flat earth. Let them just sit there and argue about something that's dumb. And they can sit there and prove that the earth is round. Waste their energy on that because we know that the earth is round. Just feed them the flat earthers and let Shermer and his boys have fun with that. Because right now, anything else that's out there, they can't go there. And I love it. I just love it. I know the vibe, the power of not only the internet and us and things and television and radio. We, outnumber them. It's got to be, how many people are in the world? 7 billion?
7.5.
7.5 billion. Okay, outnumbering the skeptics, I'm going to say it's got to be 7.49 billion, 9999 to whatever the skeptic society is. You know how small that is? And
there's got to be a big difference, Jimmy, between a lot of people now are not only just believers, but they're knowers. They know it.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And with that, Les, I'm going to let you take us out of here, brother.
All right. Special thanks to Jon Rappoport and to all the first-time callers and Fadernauts who phoned home tonight. Fade to Black, executive producer, is Rita Kamurian. Special thanks to LJ3, that's me, Renee, Jonas, Mark. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Brother Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Bateau, and Mark Bukovar. Fadey by Dale. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music by Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy. Visit him at spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, syndicated on KGRA. And with that for the week, Jimmy and I are
out of here. Thank you so much, Les. We'll see you on Monday, brother.
See you Monday.
I want to thank everybody that called in tonight. Got yourself some T-shirts. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2016 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. Thank you, Jon Rappoport. His website is nomorefakenews.com. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. I want everybody to be safe. Go Beckley Teppy.